Judge Chavez. It was a nickname given to me at birth that my brothers gave me. And it's funny, I went to first grade and they called roll call and they called Ralph, and I didn't answer because I'd never been called Ralph before. That's my real name. So Judge is pretty much what I go by. Started coaching as soon as I got out of high school. I coached 2 years at Yaffle. And then while I was going to UNM, my former assistant coach, our quarterback coach at Valley, his name was Bill Stedman. He got the head job at West Mesa and called me and asked me if I wanted to coach high school football. And that was back in '79, and lo and behold, I did it for 34 years. A good friend of mine got the head job at Highland High School, Mark Henry, and he offered me a job. I went to work for him. He was there 5 years and moved on, and then I applied for the head job and was fortunate enough to get it. And at the time, there was a kid by the name of Bobby Newcomb who was a junior, and he was his quarterback my first year. And what a way to start your career, because everybody knows Bobby was probably one of the best athletes to ever come out of the state of New Mexico. Just a tradition of Highland football, it means a whole lot. And then I was surrounded by around quality assistant coaches. In fact, I've had 7 of my assistants go on to become head coaches. When you're a young coach, you look at the players and you look at their development and you're proud of that. But as you get older and you start hiring coaches, I had as much joy as watching my young assistants become grown men, become quality assistants, and then move on and become head coaches.
Rico at Valley, he was a player for him. Coached under him for 10 years. I know he's very proud of what Rico's done at Valley in building that program. You see a lot of those traits that Judge had when he was young in Rico, and so I imagine that's a big thing for him. Plus he's had other coaches that have went on, and it's always good to keep that coaching tree, the branches coming off that coaching tree of where your guys are at.
I was always a very competitive person, regardless of what we were doing. I was never very big, so I always had to overachieve. I was taught by my father and my mother and my brothers to be extremely hard workers, so I was never afraid of working 7 days a week during the season.
His legacy to me would be the way that he cared about kids. As hard as he worked, nobody would ever outwork him. Always did the right thing by the kids and by the school. Followed the guidelines, followed the rules within the game, never tried to go outside the game. And to be the face of coaching in Albuquerque, I think he's been that for the last 10 or 15 years. And it's because he's upstanding, he's taking care of his program, he's taking care of the kids.
Well, once I decided I wanted to coach, I knew that's all I wanted to do. And I guess really I was kidding myself when I got out of high school and said, I don't want to be a PE teacher. I mean, I've been around athletics all my life. It's what I was born to do. And I have such a passion for it, and I did it at an early age that I was hoping someday I'd get to this point. I didn't know it would go on for 34 years. I didn't know I'd be a head coach for 18 years. I never dreamed I'd win 128 games. And all those things, when I look back now, are important. But when you're 19, you don't think about those things. You think you know it all. I know I coached my first game. I thought I knew everything. I found out I didn't know a whole lot about football. So I was fortunate to work under some really quality coaches. It taught me a lot, and I was able to learn and get a great experience from those guys. And then when I finally had my opportunity, I kind of took a little bit from each one of them and then added a whole lot of Judge Chavez, and here we are today.